Hello, I'm in Massachusetts. I'm actually in Northampton, Massachusetts, while my daughter attends a dance intensive. I am so excited to be here to have a different environment to record in, a different environment to make content in, and just talk to my audience again as a marketer, as a Google Ads specialist, as somebody who is in marketing, doing Google Ads every single day. And this is going to be an episode that you're not going to want to miss. So again, I'm in Northampton, Massachusetts. It's outside Smith College, and my daughter is here doing dance. And so what I'm doing in the meantime, while she is at dance all day, literally from 8:30 a.m. till past 9 a couple days, till past dinner a bunch of days, I am on what I call a content vendor, which means that I'm recording videos, I'm writing, I'm doing things for my business because content is what gets me clients like you guys. So, all of that said, I wanted to talk about how this shift in environment, the new streets, the new people, the new place, and being gone has really helped me as a marketer. And I'm going to, last but not least, tie it back into Google Ads for you, since that is my key area of specialties in marketing. But I wanted to really talk about how getting out and about, and really just being in that place of observation helps you so incredibly much as a marketer, especially when everything is AI. So again, I am from, a part of Ohio. It's a suburb, a lot of new builds. I drive to go to the grocery store. I drive to take my kids places. I'm all in about the same 5 to 10 miles for every single thing that I do. And it's just a pace of life that I love. You will find me all the time just sitting home in my pajamas. I feel like I am chronically online. If I'm not online working, I'm scrolling. All the bad online habits. But at the end of the day, that doesn't put me in a position where I'm able to all the time be as articulate about how other people live in other cities and other parts of the country. And that is what these little trips have done to me. I wrote a ton about it on my blog when I talked about when I was in Boston without internet and I just had to get an article out the door for Search Engine Land, one of the two. I was writing an article in any case. And I felt like it was one of the best articles that I wrote just because it came from the heart. I wasn't even looking at AI. I just wrote what I thought and got it out the door. So in any case, my whole intention from coming here, again, was to really capitalize on that writing and observation period. And that is something that I don't think marketers do well. I'm just going to say it. I think that we as a society, and particularly us marketers who are chronically online, have really stopped observing humans. I don't think we observe enough. Back when I first started in paid search and I was working in corporate, we had the benefit of a usability lab and anything that went to market. And again, this is big corporate budgets here. So I'm acting really spoiled by saying this, but anything that went on the client facing website was tested in a usability lab. So we got to see how people observed how people interacted with the internet, with the website, with our tools that we were putting out there. And yeah, okay, most of us, if you're watching this channel, you're probably not a big corporate marketing team with access to that type of thing. But here again, at the same exact time, what you can do is you can just go and observe your environment. Go sit at a coffee shop for one day. Go spend some time in a city. You don't have to travel all the way across the country like I've been doing to do this. You can just go to a different coffee shop that you're not used to. Go to a different side of town. Go to a friend's house, go to a party, do the things that we should be doing that, again, we don't do because we're always online. And so I'm going to do a quick callback to December 8th, 2025 of this year. And I'm going to say that for me personally is when I felt like my business hit what I'm going to call like just rock bottom. I had been building my business before and wasn't really doing everything that I wanted to do. I was managing a good amount of Google Ads. I was doing training here and there, but it wasn't like fully training, coaching, audits. It wasn't where I'm at today, where I just literally do exactly what I want to do, which is teach businesses how to own their own Google Ads so they are not relying on agencies paying constant retainers for somebody that is not even paying attention to the account. And we all know that that's exactly what happens at these agencies. So in any case, I had hit what I'm going to call rock bottom, where I'd been building and building and building on social media. I'd given all my best content to social media. I was posting on LinkedIn. I was doing every single thing that I thought that I should be doing, but I wasn't really getting the new clients. I was getting a lot of agencies and I was always being asked to manage. And so I hit a wall because it was built on social media. And what that did is that collapsed me back in just making content because it really came down to if I'm going to get my own brand new clients, I'm either going to make content, right? Like I'm going to talk about Google Ads all day long and make the content, or I'm going to go out and find it via leaving my house or, cold email. And I didn't want to leave my house or do cold email. So I just started making content. And long story short, what happened is got to the point where business started flowing again. Like I think I looked at my stats the other day just to do a business look back and analysis. And over the past 5 months, I've had 7 new clients. And I think what ended up happening is writing, it made me look outward again. I had to look outside of myself. I think when I was on social media, I was looking inward versus writing made me look outward. Like, who am I writing for? Who's my audience? Who are the types of clients that are struggling with Google Ads? Who are the types of clients that are paying these retainers to agencies and just settling for what they know isn't right? That is what I really had to think about. And then I had to think about like, what does my end client want to hear, right? So for example, like my end client, yes, they want to know about impression share. They want to know about CPCs. They want to know the how-to. But at the end of the day, they're frustrated. They're frustrated because they've watched everything on YouTube. They've tried it themselves. They are just at a breaking point. And so a lot of what I do is just continuously look and talk to the frustrations that my clients are having, which I know them super well. And so what ended up happening is for me, I went into this like lifeline of recovery where I was just making content, talking to my clients, getting clients, made my content even better. And at the end of the day, when I got where I needed to go, I felt like I was just having a huge awakening. I had built this credibility through my lived experience. I had built this knowledge base. And I was actually getting to talk about everything that I was doing with my actual clients. And I realized in that, like, I thought I understood business and I thought I understood customers, but I understood it through the world that I was living in. And a few years ago, I had gone to Chicago, a few years, like 15 years ago. This story, at least. I've been there since. But I was in Chicago and I remember sitting there with my brother and I was young. I don't even think I had kids at the time. And I was like, wow, there's so many products and services that exist in a shop in Chicago that don't exist near me, right? So little things like being able to rent a car for a day for quick errands, like the in and out of just getting a car like that, that's just readily available. That was huge to me. Also, when I was out at GML, the self-driving cars, the early adoption there, you never see that in the suburbs of Ohio. I don't even think they're in downtown Columbus at this point in time. There are also new products. So like I remember being in Chicago and I got to try frozen kefir, right? So it's like this tiny but meaningful consumer culture there. And there are these signals, and it's because there is a density of people, and these end up being test markets. Density of people. Think about density of data. And I feel like the pace in these bigger cities is just a different rhythm than what we see here in like Ohio, which I'm going to call is more data sparse. So we don't get to test out these new products and services. And so the realization is markets behave differently because humans behave differently. And humans behave differently depending on where they live and how many people are in that given city. And so when you start to think about your marketing, right, as humans, like I just described above, and not as platforms like Google Ads, right, you start to shift from story to insight. You start to shift to think about the humans versus just the needs of the platform. I think marketers are falling into this trap, especially with AI, where we're talking about bid strategies, impression share, keywords, these levers on repeat constantly. I mean, even somebody told me the other day, they're like, man, if I watch Google Ads content, it's all just the same thing. We're all saying the same thing. We're all contributing to the noise. And when you think about it, those different things, those are just tools, downstream tools. Humans are the upstream. It's so incredibly meta when you don't know how human beings go about their daily life because your marketing makes that really clear. It just doesn't land the way human-centric brands land. So what do people actually care about? Your customers, right? Because again, this is about marketing. I think among people, there's an emotional truth. People are trying to survive. They want safety at night. They want stability. They want better futures for their children. They want a life that feels manageable. Search intent, when we think about it, especially when Google ads are at play, because we are paying and we're matching with that search intent. It is just a reflection of human needs. Keywords are just the artifacts. So why does observation make you better at Google ads, right? That's how I started this video. I started talking about how I got the chance to come out here and just observe and just be in a different place where I can actually have my mind and my creativity going. Understanding humans equals better strategy, and better strategy at the ads level equals better keywords, better structure, and better outcomes for your ads. I'm not just choosing keywords when I'm working with a client and I'm doing coaching or I'm building out a campaign for them. I'm not just blanket choosing these keywords because that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm helping the businesses that I work with understand what's actually happening behind their business. That's what I'm doing for them. And I think that that is so very much missing when I open up an ads account that's been run at an agency. It's that conversation and that tie back. If you do not treat the human first, you're never going to have the right keywords. I'm in observation mode, right? I use that like completely Google Ads term, but it's true. I'm in Massachusetts right now in observation mode. I'm looking at the data around me. I'm resetting my creativity. I'm trying to look at the world so I can write differently for different archetypes and different clients and the different types of people that'll hire me. I'm acting as a marketer right now, not just as a Google Ads specialist, because I, at my very, very core, am a marketer who uses ads as a tool and all those layers underneath it. And it's helping me reconnect with the real world, which is the world of my clients and what you should be doing for your business to try to reach your clients. And so my final message to you is observation is the foundation of the creativity and marketing that you're going to put in your business. For me, it's helped with my authority. It's helped me grow and get the clients I've had today. And for you, I encourage you to do the same. As always, thank you so much for listening. I cannot wait to see you in the next episode.